Hello creative friends! Well, today I'm going to be working in my small art journal once again, and I just received some of these gorgeous Carabelle Studio stamps all the way from France. They're in stock in my shop now if anyone's interested. I cater mostly to Australian customers. So I just love it. This is a beautiful design by Birgit Gubson. I hope I said your name right. And it's just giving me some ideas of some funky things I could do on this art journal spread. So I don't really actually have any ideas of where I'm gonna go with this, but I'm gonna start painting my background with some colors, and then I'll stamp this beautiful design and see how we go. My background is done for now, at least the first layer, and as you can see it's looking pretty cheerful, so I'm really excited by those colors. There's just so much fun and joy coming out of just having those colors combined together. So even though it doesn't look like much, it still makes me happy. I don't need much, do I? Alright, so now I'm thinking that I'm going to embellish this layer a little bit further. If I can find an old plastic card somewhere on my desk, I think I can spot one from here, then I think I'm going to use it to create some lines, or some very thin lines anyway, across the background, just for interest. And for that I'm going to use some of my beautiful iridescent colors. I'm not sure which one just yet, but I'm thinking maybe this green, and well, this is it's actually called iridescent green yellow, so it's mostly green, but if you can see it's got a sort of yellowy gold tinge to it. And this one, which is also one of my favorites, it's iridescent blue green. And as you can imagine, it's turquoisey blue with a little bit of a green iridescent to it. So, and all the colors in the range basically have a two-tone iridescent effect, so they look really cool. You've seen me use them many times before, and I think I'm going to use them again on here with my little plastic card. Alright, I'll give you a close-up. As you can see, I was doing lines at first, and then I decided to spread my credit card a little bit with the paint, and it just made this the most beautiful effect. So I'm going to try to show you up close so you can sort of see. Isn't that beautiful? You've got this blue-green iridescent and green-yellow iridescent colors mixing together. I hope it's coming through on the camera properly. It's really pretty. It's basically, I should be calling it pretty grunge. This is my pretty grunge technique. So it's kind of messy and grungy, but it's still gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry and then move on to something else. Okay, everything's drying now. And you know what, I almost don't feel like covering it up because I find it so pretty already. But I'll put a picture of how it looks now on the blog post, so at least you can see up close what I'm talking about. But I've decided to keep going anyway. You just have to push a little bit sometimes to get something even more exciting, or I hope so anyway. If it doesn't work out, we'll just paint over at the end, that's alright. And so I still have my funky stamp in mind that I will use towards the end. And I'm thinking because it's got circles all over, then it'll be good to repeat this element by using other circles, but maybe more like dots, so it's not as big as this design, but still echoes the shape of the main elements here. So I'm just gonna find one of my favorite stencil, which is by Tim Holtz, and hopefully I will find it quickly so I can show you. Okay, actually I lied. I'm gonna use two of my favorite stencils, and both are by Tim Holtz. So this one has slightly bigger openings than this one, which will look great because if you have a look, we're going from big sort of circles to medium circles to little circles, so it all will tie in together. I'm gonna start with this one first, and I'm just gonna stencil through, I think maybe with some, I don't know, let me think, what color shall I use? Let's go with some white for now. Okay, some subtle texture, very pretty. And I'm going to continue with this one, so the smaller dots, and I'm going to use, I want to use a dark color to sort of bring up some of that contrast in the background, but I don't want to use black, so I was thinking of using this one, which is another one of those iridescent colors. This one's called Iridescent Blue Black, so it's got a bit of both, a bit of blue and a bit of black, so I guess it's a pretty good combination. It's going to be fairly subtle anyway, because the openings on this stencil are pretty small, as you can see. Okay, so I'm going to show you up close so you can see what I'm talking about. Hopefully you can see a little bit of that blue-black iridescent paint. Almost looks sort of purpley even, actually. There you go. Alright, let's try this off before we move on. Okay, time to play with this awesome stamp. So let's get it out. As you can see, it's quite big. This is considered A5 size, so it's a pretty big stamp. It's really good quality actually, and I'm not going to stick it onto anything. It's got enough rigidity that I can use it by itself to stamp directly on my pages, and I'm just going to be careful while I'm stamping across. So, but I'm thinking I'm not going to stamp all over the pages here. I don't want to cover everything. I just want to make it, you know, I don't know, maybe just a feature. So let's see, we could do something sort of vertical in the middle, or a little bit here, a bit there. Let me think. I think I'll try to stamp sort of in, I don't know, I'll just see how I go. Really, we'll just go with the flow. But what I'm going to do though is use my dark purple stamp, so it's not as, you know, contrasting as a black ink, for instance. And I'm going to stamp this one all over and directly onto my pages. So I'm just trying to press quite hard to make sure that it soaks up enough ink so we get a decent impression, although it doesn't have to be perfect, of course. That up. We don't want any ink on the edge, so otherwise I'll have some smudges on my page. Alright, let's just go for it. We'll do half-half, a little bit here. I can tell you it didn't stay all clean and white for very long, did it? Let's see. Oh, that is so awesome. You guys, this is awesome. Love it, love it. And then I'm gonna reapply a little bit of ink here, a bit of oink. Just on the bottom half or the top half on this side, and then I'll turn it upside down, or actually no, I'll just go with it like that, but I'll go a bit sideways, so a bit more organic. And like I said, it's got enough rigidity to do this, but it's still a little bit flexible that you can sort of bend it to mold to your page. Okay, beautiful. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit of the pointy end here, just for some extra bit here, and maybe let's see if we can get a bit more from there. Just so it sort of continues a little bit, but discreetly, if that makes sense. Although it's a little bit, I think I feel like putting a little bit more dark one just there. Alright, I think I'm good. I'm going to press this stamp on this page here, so we'll clean it up and give me some texture for next time. I'll give it a quick blast of heat, not this side, my actual page spread, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I didn't want to say anything when I started because I had a vague idea in mind that I wanted to do a bit of a Christmas theme, even though by the time you see this video it probably won't be Christmas, but anyway, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean, you can use it for next year or just use the ideas for something else. But I had this idea of, yes, a Christmas theme because of the circles, and kind of reminds me a little bit of baubles, and I was going with some of the iridescent colors because of all the shine and the glitter in the Christmas lights you see everywhere. So that was roughly, you know, a vague theme that I had in mind, but I'm gonna keep going with it. It's gonna be an abstract Christmas theme, as you can see, and I'm going to basically tone down these areas in the background a little bit, just so this area in here actually pop a little bit more. So I'm gonna keep going with my iridescent colors from before, and just go a little bit around. And this paint is quite is fairly thick. It's a heavy body acrylic, so it's really easy to apply wherever you need, and I'm just gonna basically spread it around those shapes. It's not going to do too much at first, so I will just, it depends basically. So if you use a lighter color like this light green over a darker color, then it's going to pop a lot more than if I go over this yellow here, for instance. So I'm going to sort of play between this green and the other blue I had before, I think, and just add a little bit of both. I'm going to go a little bit over the edges of the design there because I don't want it to be completely separated actually from everything else. I want it to sort of integrate a little bit with the background. So I'm just going to do this for a little bit and I'll be back. So the pages are starting to build up a little bit. I don't know if you can see where I've gone around those two shapes a little bit, and I've integrated them a little bit with the background too. So you know, it's there, but it's not too obvious, which is what I like. Now I'm going to use a little bit of gold to highlight some of these circles and make them pop. I'm going to use my iridescent gold so it's not too bright. Okay, I'm pretty happy with where things are going now. This is my version of baubles and Christmas lights. I know it's a little bit abstract, but just go along with me, all right? Now, I think I'm going to finish my pages with some Merry Christmas words. Of course, why not? You know, that's what I had in mind at first. I didn't want to say anything because I wasn't sure if it was going to pan out okay. But I was thinking of using these beautiful banner stamps. And you can find these in my shop as well, because that one's quite big, which is really cool for larger messages. And this one would be good too. Merry Christmas would be great there. Let's see what would work best. I might even use the large one twice. Should I do a Merry and a Christmas down there? Let's think. Okay, so I've got my two banners now. And I will, obviously it's going to be hard for the text to stand out above this busy background, so I'm going to tone down these areas here. I'm going to use the same blue I used in the background because I can see that I'm going to cover it up anyway, and it will just tie in with the other blue patches there. So I'm just going to add a little bit. I don't want to make it too opaque, just, you know, enough that I can that it's dark enough basically so I can write over it. Okay, getting to the end now. I'm going to write Merry Christmas with my white Sharpie. This is the best pen I have really that gives me a opaque white for text especially. So I'm going to use my little support again. I'm just loosely going to write Merry here and Christmas there. And I'm done. Well, there you have it, my friends. My Merry Christmas arginal spread, or abstract I should say, arginal spread. I hope you've enjoyed this, and as always you'll find the list of supplies I've used here in the description box. I will take you to the blog post on my website, and everything's clearly listed over there with some pictures of the final pages for you to see. And in the meantime, then I wish you a Merry Christmas. Even if it's already passed, it doesn't matter. Merry Christmas anywho. All right, and I will see you very, very soon. Thank you. Bye.